Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Sapna Redwal. I'm working as a professor in the Department of Management at St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. This is lecture 15 of Unit 4 of Organizational Behavior. This subject is taught in BBA second semester of BBA course. The topic I'm going to cover in this lecture: organizational development, characteristics of OD, steps of OD, stress management, symptoms of stress in employees, sources of stress in the organization, organizational strategies for managing stress. This is the last lecture of organizational behavior. With this lecture, the syllabus of the organizational behavior will be complete. Now the first topic of the lecture 15, that is organizational development. So different people have defined organizational development differently. In the words of news, OD is a systematic, integrated and planned approach to improve the effectiveness of enterprise. It is designated to solve problems that adversely affect the personal operational efficiency at all levels. So in the words of book, OD or organization development is a planned process of change in an organization's culture through the utilization of behavioral science, technology, research and theory. Now comes characteristics of organizational development. The salient characteristics of organizational development are as follows. The first one is OD or organizational development is a systematic approach to the planned change. It is structured style of diagnosing organizational problems and opportunities and then applying expertise to them. The second one is OD is grounded in solid research and theory. It involves the application of our knowledge of behavior science to the challenge that organizations face. Third is organizational development recognizes the reciprocal relationship between individuals and organizations. It acknowledges that for organization to change, individuals must change. Then fourth is OD is goal oriented. It is process that seeks to improve both individual and organization well-being and effectiveness. Then fifth is OD is designed to solve the problems. Then comes objectives of organizational development. The main objective of organizational development are to improve organizational performance as measured by profitability, market share, innovativeness. Second is to make organization better adapted to its environment, which always keep on changing. Next is to make the members willing face organizational problems and contribute creative solutions to the organizational problem. Then to improve internal behavior patterns such as interpersonal relations, intergroup relations, level of trust and support among the role players. Then comes understand own self and other, openness and meaningful communication and involvement in planning for organizational development. Now steps of organizational development. The first step is problem identification, that is of diagnosis. Organizational development programs start with the identification of the problem in the organization. Correct diagnosis of the problem will provide its causes and determine the future action needed. So a diagnosis is very important. First we have to diagnose why organization need to develop or which part of the organization need the development. Second is planning strategy for change. Then second step is to plan or to make strategy for the change. So organizational development consultant attempts to transform diagnosis of the problem into proper action plan involving the overall goals for change, determination of basic approach for attaining these goals and the sequence of detailed scheme for implementing the approach. So at this stage consultants, they make strategy and they make plans how this change is going to be introduced in the organization. Now the third step is to implement the change in the organization. This is very important subject. The implementation should be done at a proper time and with proper phases. Now, fourth step is evaluation. So, organization development is a long term process. There is a great need for careful monitoring to get process feedback. Whether the OD program is going on well after its implementation or not. Because this will help, the evaluation will help in making suitable modifications if necessary. And for evaluation of organizational development program, the use of critic sessions, appraisal of change, efforts and comparison of pre and post training behavior patterns are quite effective. Now comes the next one is stress management definition. Stress management is a wide spectrum of technique and psychotherapies aimed at controlling a person's level of stress, especially chronic stresses, usually for the purpose of and for the motive of improving everyday functioning. So, stress management consists of making changes in existing process and managing the stress of the employees working in the organization. Now, the next step is symptoms of stress in the employees. The following are the symptoms of stress in the employees. If the employees are escaping from work, then absenteeism in the employees, arriving late, leaving early, decrease in work performance, memory loss, overreacting, arguing, deterioration of health, improper eating habits, feeling anxious, irritable, depressed, apathy, loss of interest in work, problem sleeping, fatigue and tardiness, trouble concentrating on work, muscle tension or headache, stomach problems, social withdrawal. So these are the symptoms of the stress in the employees. Now, sources of stress in the organization. The following are the sources of the stress in the organization. There are four kinds of sources. First is organizational factors, individual factors, then job concerning factors, then extra organizational factors. So first I'm starting with first organizational factors. With the growth in organization, the stress and anxiety or complexity have also increased in among employees, which causing the stress in employees. Some of such factors, organizational factors, which are increasing or which are source of stress in the employees are discrimination in pay and salary structure, strict rules and regulations, ineffective communication, peer pressure, goals conflict, more of centralized and formal organizational structure, less promotional opportunities, lack of employee participation, decision making, excessive control over the employees by the managers. These are the organizational factors which are promoting, or which are sources of employee stress in the organization. Now, second is individual factors. There are various expectations which the family members, peers, superiors, and subordinates have from the employees. So failure to understand such expectations or to convey such expectations lead to role ambiguity, role conflict, which in turn causes employees stress. Other individual factors causing stress among employees are inherent personality trait, such as being impatient, aggressive, rigid, feeling time pressure, always, etc. So similarly, the family issues, personal financial problems, sudden career changes all lead to stress in the employees. Now the next one is job concerning factors. Certain factors related to job which causes stress among employees are peer pressure, goal conflict, unclear rules, unclear goals, then dissatisfaction, low motivation, low morale, politics are the job concerning factors which causes stress in the employees. Then extra organizational factors are also there which causes stress in the organization. There are certain issues outside the organization which lead to stress among employees. In today's modern and technology savvy world, stress has increased. Inflation, technological changes, social responsibility, and rapid social changes are other extra organizational factors which are causing stress in the employees. Now, organizational strategies for managing stress in the employees. First is there are two types of strategies, or the stress can be managed. The stress can be managed by the organization. So organization strategies for managing stress are encouraging more of organizational communication with employees so that there is no role ambiguity conflict. Effective communication can also employ views. Manager can use better signs, symbols which are not misinterpreted by the employees. Then encourage employees' participation in decision making. This will reduce role stress. Then granting the employees greater independence, meaningful and timely feedback, and greater responsibility. This will reduce stress in the employees. Then the organizational goals should be realistic, stimulating, and particular. The employees must be given feedback on how well they are heading towards these goals. Then encouraging decentralization in the organization will also lead to reduction in stress in the employees. Then have a fair and just distribution of incentives and salary structure will also reduce stress in the employees. Then promoting job rotation and job enrichment in the organization will lead to reduction in the stress in the employees. Then creating just and safe working environment in the organization. Then having effective hiring and orientation procedure. Then appreciating the employees on accomplishing and over exceeding their targets. This will also increase the employee motivation and will reduce their stress. Now there are also individual strategies for managing stress. So employees also can use these strategies for managing their stress. These strategies are: the employee should make to-do list daily. They should prioritize the acts in the list and plan the act accordingly. They should take regular breaks during work to relax. And by effective time management, the employees can achieve their target timely and can meet work pressures and thus avoid stress. So they can do hard work, strive to achieve goal, but do not harm family, health or peer. So hard work is important, but not at the cost of family, health and peer. Then they should indulge in the physical exercise too, because physical exercise will help in effective blood circulation, keeps them fit, and will divert their mind from work pressures. Then managers should encourage employees for healthy lifestyle. Employees should take regular sleep, have plenty of water, have healthy eating habits, promote relaxation techniques such as yoga, listening music and meditation. The employees should have optimistic approach about their work. They should avoid connection with negative approach employees. Then the employees should have emotional intelligence at workplace. They should have self-awareness, confidence and self-control at workplace. Then the employees should build social support. They should have close connection with trustworthy peers who can listen to their problems and boost their confidence level. This social network will help the employees to overcome their stress. Then employee counseling is a very good strategy to overcome employee stress. Through counseling, employees can become aware of their strengths and how to develop those strengths, their weaknesses and how to eliminate them, and they can develop strategies for changing their behavior. Employees are also given career counseling which help in reducing their ambiguities with regard to career. Then they should find a way to release stress such as cracking jokes, playing tennis, golf, etc. An employee should not remain preoccupied with themselves only. They should focus towards also, outward also, help others also. This will release some of their stress. They will feel satisfied internally. So these are the techniques of managing stress. Now these are the questions which are related to the above discussed topic. If any query is there, please do contact me. Thank you. Thank you so much.